Again, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to UKSG Spring. I'm Xoneris again, and I'm about to do an Uncharted Drake's Fortune speedrun, which will hopefully be very entertaining to you guys. Oh, my PS4 is still in German. Lol. So tech, by the way, a timer starts in a bit, and so normally timer would start right now, but because of the incentive we had about the skin, I kind of quickly need to know right now if any skin has more than $0 or what are we doing, Miss TMHT Senpai?
We actually got one donation from HT for the... Wait, where is it? For the Donut Drake. $10 for the Donut Drake.
Legendary.
Donuts!
Wait, what? Didn't I thought what? Oh no. The game on normal or high? I beat the game on normal. Oh. No, not again. Whoops. This is equally as good. I sworn I hate this game. Anyway, hey tech, I think hopefully you're ready. So yeah. Yeah, just I choose the wetsuit Drake. That's a funny one as well. Yeah, tech. So get ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
How the hell they find us out here?
Hey, yeah. So again, hey, this is Uncharted. This is the first game of the Uncharted series, and I'm quite the aim god, as you can see right here. Yeah, this is the first chapter of 22 chapters, if I remember correctly. The first chapter is without a doubt the most boring one. I promise there will be a lot of glitches and a lot of funny stuff in here, but not in the first chapter. First chapter is kind of... You're stuck on this boat and there's a few bandits that try to kill you or steal or something, I don't know, story. And we don't like that very much, so we shoot them.
Oh no, you don't.
With our airsoft gun. It's totally not a real weapon, I promise. We don't harm people in here. And yeah, we just wait until they're gone, and then the real speedrun starts. For this, these pirate friends are scripted. They always appear at the same place every single time. So I can just wait here and chill. And now, as you can see, they're in the ocean back there somewhere. A boat will suddenly appear out of nowhere. Ah shit, I had my head directly in front of it. But yes, there's this boat with the minigun. And it's kinda angry. And we kinda try to avoid it. Okay, let me try something here. Let's see if I can do this. No. It almost worked. Yeah, like I said, this is a little bit of the boring part. And alright. Let's start the real speedrun. So the wetsuit Drake that I have enabled is the one that you use in the first chapter. Right now he would technically wear something else, but you know.
Well, that was different. Although I must admit,
Awesome dialogue, by the way.
strenuous.
Well, hang in there, old timer. We're just about there.
You know, this reminds
Alright, so the first little speed tech in this game is that jumping is a little bit faster than just walking. There are two different states of movement. You can be your normal walking, jogging speed,
Hanging on every word.
or whenever you're in a combat encounter, he starts to actually run around.
An awful long way from England.
And when you're in that combat state, you can just normally run. But if you're not in that combat state, just doing these little bunny hops or whatever are slightly faster. Looks a little bit silly.
This is more like
So there's a big trick coming up right now that won't look like a trick if you don't know what's happening.
What do you think this is, Incan?
Nah, it's older than
And there we go.
like
Let's just skip
2000.
a little bit of a climbing section. This is a really weird trick. I will do this later at some point again. So we're rolling onto the ledge of that tree root, and because we're a little bit higher, we can jump directly up onto like the ledge there. Normally you're supposed to climb all the way around it. It's a little bit finicky, but with this rolling setup where you just roll onto the tree root, you should be okay most of the time. Oops. You want to have subtitles? Sure, let's have some subtitles.
Those Spaniards sure left a lot of crap on us.
Also, my aiming skills are god tier, just saying.
Quite a drop.
Alright, and coming up is the big glitch of the game that will completely shatter your minds. You see this wall here? So it turns out you can just ignore it and go through it. And as you might imagine, that's a little bit broken. Here again, look at this wall. Oh, we can magically go through it. That's awkward. And just go out of bounds and go inbounds. So the way this trick works, this is a really easy trick, by the way, it's not that hard. So you just lean against the wall, you mash the aim button, and while mashing the aim button, you move the right analog stick, which is for movement, inside the wall. And every time you aim, you get pushed inside the wall, just a tiny wee little bit.
Wait, I recognize.
And yeah, you don't even have to mash the aim button that hard. It's like, it's more about rhythm than mashing. It's not that hard. The thing that is kind of more important is like the camera angle. You kind of have to look sideways. And yeah, this chapter here is basically a long hallway with a lot of hidden like shut doors that you're supposed to open with like puzzles and stuff, which is like the perfect level to demonstrate this glitch.
I made it. I'm okay.
Yeah, it's a neat little glitch, little trick, and this game is actually full of like little tricks and glitches that are pretty weird, but because you can just ignore basically every single wall in the game, all of the other glitches and tricks kind of don't become as relevant. Okay, or you can, this happens sometimes, you just fall through the floor because you're out of bounds. There we go, and we're outside. And again, some little bunny hops here, just slightly faster than walking. I think in this first chapter there's not a single enemy, so I have skipped quite a lot, but not really much combat. The combat is about to come online in just a bit. Here's another interesting one. With this clipping method, you can also clip through invisible walls. For example, here is an invisible wall that you obviously can't really see because it's invisible, duh. But you can use that and walk under this U-boat,
Okay.
and for some reason there's like a checkpoint there, and you walk into the checkpoint and reload it, and you're inside this fancy little old boat, which you're supposed to climb around and go into it from the top. And this is a really boring part here. We just walk around and there's some cutscenes and dialogue, so If there's any donations or any messages or anything, feel free to hit us up with something if you want to.
We have currently no donation, unfortunately, but if I have time to say something, I would like to thank ESA for supporting this marathon. Besides providing us with their channel for streaming, they're sharing gear. Like, we get like technical assistance and sponsors, but sure, please make sure to check out ESA together. That's from the 6th to the 13th of April. It's like another online marathon that we do because we're in like a stupid time right now. I don't know how else to describe what's going on in the world right now, so please, thank you ESA for letting us do it.
Yeah, obviously, thank you ESA. Thanks a lot that you're supporting the smaller speedrun marathons as well. That's really nice.
Cozy.
And yeah, we're almost done with this walking simulator section here. Hey, I did the thing that can sometimes happen. It says like half a second or so, maybe, probably even less. It's weird and inconsistent, and it looks goofy, and nobody really knows how it works.
That's probably bad.
No, this is not a rerun. This is actually live content. Alright, so now there's some bad guys shooting us or hitting me in the face. That's okay too. And you might not completely be aware of this right now, but what we're about to do is just basically go backwards from the first chapter. I'm gonna clip through an invisible wall here again and jump into the hallway here. And now we're kind of back in the first chapter. Now this time there's just a lot of enemies. Also a little thing that I haven't really mentioned anywhere. There's some minor animation cancelling. So for example, when Nathan Drake, the protagonist here of the game, falls a big distance, and after that he would normally do like a roll. But if you just shoot, the animation of shooting has a higher priority because, you know, shooting, and it just cancels out the rolling animation. Yeah, you can do these animation skips at some places. They're just minor time saves. Here's also a little skip. If you kill all of the guys in the hallway and restart checkpoint, you're a little bit further down the hallway. And some more bad guys here.
Okay.
And the big leap of faith. Easy every time. Oh, I have no ammunition. That's awkward. Alright. This chapter also almost done. Yeah, you saw me right here. There's another little thing. When you're in the rolling animation, you can pick up ammunition. Normally he has this like separate picking up ammo animation, which of course is slow and we don't want that. And by rolling, you do the same thing, kinda. And that's kind of it.
Strangers trying to kill me. Leave my map.
Now we're in chapter 4. This is a really interesting chapter.
Most likely dead.
So what you see right now, I'm in this combat running animation. Normally at the start of this chapter you're not supposed to have this. This is a really weird thing the game does. At the end of the last chapter, if you just continually shoot at the end, you maintain your combat speed into this level, which is a bit awkward. Like, it doesn't really make that much sense, but it's helpful because, you know, it's faster. Sometimes this clip into walls is a little bit finicky. So this one here is pretty hilarious. Water physics in this game are pretty cool. Whenever you touch water, you instantly get teleported to the top of the water level, which is really useful here. Damn. Missed the jump. Yeah, what you just saw might have looked like a big skip, but it's actually only like a little time save. But something real important right here, at the start of this level, you may have seen like the gate. Technically what you're supposed to do is shoot the gate open with your cannon, and that would like trigger all of the rest of this level. Like by now we have been supposed to like fight 7 million enemies already, but because the game still thinks we're at the start of the area, nothing happens. Here as well, if you just have a little bit knowledge of how game design works, this entire area looks like a battle place, and it kinda is, but because the game thinks we're still at the start, there's no enemies, which is nice. This comes in with a little problem though, because the game thinks we're at the start of the game. If I happen to die anywhere, I would be sent back to the start of the chapter, I mean at the start of the game. So hopefully we try to avoid that. In the middle of this chapter there's kind of a hard-coded save that is there no matter what. And if we can reach that without dying, then we're pretty good to go. I mean, this looks not super interesting, because here there's supposed to be another fight here, which we just kindly ignore or don't even do at all. Here's a jump that looks a little bit scary, but it's pretty consistent. It just looks scary. So here is this broken bridge up here, and this is where the hard-coded checkpoint is. So I just need to get over to the other side. Of course, nice. Alright. Forget what I just said the past few minutes and we're redoing everything. I really hoped this would not happen. But of course, it's Xoneris at a marathon run, so... Nice. So this right here is chapter 4. You've been seeing this chapter for the first time right now. So water has a very interesting property in this game. No, I'm not gonna repeat everything, but that's unfortunate. This is like the biggest time waste you can have in this run. Ah man, I hate when this happens. I thought I could make that. Yeah, right at the end there. You're supposed to climb at the rocks on like the side of the waterfall. I mean, you kind of saw it. And if you jump a little bit too early, Nathan Drake has this weird thing where he just likes to jump into the water instead. And if you jump into the water, you're dead. Which sucks. I really tried to avoid that. That's like... that's the most annoying thing that can happen. Yeah, let's just reset, right? I swear to God I actually practiced this a little bit yesterday to not go overestimate. But 55 minutes is still like a pretty high estimate. We should still be fine. Uncharted Drake's unfortunate. That's a good one. This gives me a little time to talk about something I did last year at another speedrun marathon called SpeedCon in Germany. Me and another Uncharted runner, Catalyst, we played this game 2-player 1 controller, which was a very special experience. It was quite a lot of fun, not gonna lie. It was pretty funny. I'm controlling one half of the controller, he controls the other side. It was a good run. I recommend you guys check it out. It's pretty fun. Alright, let's try to avoid the same thing again. Being a bit more careful. This right here is the first game in the Uncharted series. In my honest opinion, it's the worst. Or like, it's still a good game. Okay, almost. One more jump. Okay, there we go. Woo! And right here is a hard-coded save point. So if I die again, I will be back here. So, whew. And yeah, I always like to, if you guys don't know what this game is, I like to describe this game as like Indiana Jones, the video game. Because that's basically what it is. Nathan Drake has like the same like personality than Indiana Jones. He's like witty and clever and drops like one-liners whenever he gets into like bad situations, which happens like all the time. The game has a certain charm towards it. It's fun. And of course he gets shot by what feels like 7 million bad guys. A big criticism this game has received in the past is that it has way too much combat. Normally the formula for a successful Uncharted game is a nice combination out of exploration, combat, and puzzles and story. But this game has a really heavy focus on combat, which luckily, most of which we can skip. So right here is another very interesting glitch that only gets used like once really, and it's kind of broken. So yeah, I just jumped out of bounds here. So what you can do, since this game is like a cover shooter, you can lean behind cover and you can jump over the cover, and while you're in that jumping over the cover animation, the game just kind of forgets to give you collision and you can just jump through things. And the barrel right there is just very, very conveniently placed that lets us just jump outside. But the problem is, because it's an explosive barrel and one of the bad guys shoots it, it will explode. But luckily there's like a little backup further down the area. Also something you guys might have not known about this game. Nathan Drake, the protagonist, is of course mainly like a treasure hunter and all that stuff, but he's also a very, very talented magician because he can make a castle appear out of nowhere. Insane. How did he do that? Sick. So a little bit more climbing here. Here's a trick you could do that is called the vine launch, which is kind of the hardest trick in the game, or one of the hardest tricks. It's really inconsistent and kind of finicky, and I think I never gotten it once. You just got launched into the air and like be like Rocket Man and go like space, and you just shoot up the wall and go up here like instantly. Back in the PlayStation 3 version of the game, it was way more consistent. Because there are some very big differences between the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3 version of the game. The most important one is that the PlayStation 4 version that I'm running on right now is playing on 60 FPS instead of 30 FPS. And that FPS comes into some of the glitches.
This place could use a good plumber.
For example, the wall clipping that I'm doing most of the time is actually even a bit easier on the PlayStation 3. And the vine launch, on the other hand, is really hard because there's way more frames. Here's a little quirky thing that I need to do. I need to... Nice, a grenade. I'm just gonna wait real quick. I need to clip through this gate and come back and... Hello? Okay, then I just do it again. And another grenade. Let's just chill. Hello, sir? Why can't I open this? This is weird. Normally you just clip through this and clip back and you can... There we go. Okay, that was weird. And you can open this. This is a little bit dangerous because you saw they can throw grenades at you. And sometimes they can throw a grenade literally in front of your feet. And you're opening the gate and it kills you. As one might expect. And yeah, the guys on the other side are still trying to shoot me. But yeah, see you later, nerds. Here's a little like climbing puzzle room where you just have to activate like the floodgates to make the water in the room rise so you can progress. Yeah, there's some more differences in this game between the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4 version. Also, a big thing is, of course, loading times are just a little tiny bit faster on PS4 than on the big old PS3. And one very big difference, I will explain in a little bit, because there you can see it very, very clearly. Alright, so here's chapter 4, chapter 6 I mean. This one, we in the community like to call this like the apprentice level, that like some kind of level design apprentice made this level. Because this level has a really weird quirk. Technically we could go to the end of the level right away, but unfortunately nothing happens. So we need to activate a series of checkpoints that start in this hallway right here. And we need to follow all these checkpoints in order for the level end trigger to be there. And this is kind of the only chapter in the game that has this weird quirk. If we could just go to the end of the level, it would be so much faster, but I guess that's not a thing. Feels bad, man. Also a little thing with the animation cancelling, I said earlier, when you're walking upstairs or walking downstairs, you can just continuously shoot a weapon, doesn't matter which one, and he's locked in his shooting animation, which is faster than his walking upstairs animation. Yeah, Nathan Drake asking a really good question, where are all these guys coming from? I never really was keeping track of how many enemies are in this game, but it's way too many. Like, Nathan Drake is basically kind of a mass murder, because how many enemies he kills in this game, it's insane. So another leap of faith here, which I of course missed. Nice. Okay, this time it worked. Alright, and slowly coming to the end of the chapter. A little bit of bunny hopping and stair animation cancelling. It sounds so technical when you say it like that. And yeah, you can get in this room way earlier, but like I said, if you don't go through this hallway and kill all the guys and yada yada yada, you stand in this room and nothing happens.
What are you looking for?
It's a little cutscene we unfortunately can't really skip. Oh crap! Alright, and now we're in an auto-scroller. And if you have like a donation or something to say in here, then this is the perfect time.
Yep. unfortunately still don't have any donations, which I'm really kind of mad about. So please donate. But like since I started thanking people, I think I can also thank BSG for supporting this marathon. They hold bi-monthly gatherings in the Netherlands. They have supported UKSG from the beginning, like they have been there for us for like all the time by spreading the word and providing us with a channel to stream on a past session and other things. Like mark your calendars because BSG annual is happening from the 9th to the 15th of August this year, and you don't want to miss it. So yeah.
Okay, one weird little thing here. My controller is I don't know what's happening. My controller is not really working anymore. That's a bit awkward. But I mean, so far we're looking good here. Okay, that's a bit awkward. Ah, there we go. Okay, not sure what just happened. Damn it. Okay, I think we're good now. Yeah, I was of course just joking. My controller works perfectly fine. This auto scroll here is just yeah, this is the part where I can talk about another key difference between PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. In the PlayStation 3 version of this game, the easiest difficulty is easy. In this game they added an even easier difficulty called the Explorer difficulty, and yeah, this is what Explorer difficulty looks like. You need to get hit by these enemies like literally 100 times in order to die, and also you basically get an aimbot, which is kind of OP. Whenever you seen me like aim at somebody, like my crosshair was basically on the enemy instantly, and yeah, so this is fun. Alright, here actually need to do something, and here I always try to like snipe these guys out of their things. It's actual aiming practice right here. You can just blow up the motorcycle and you're fine. But I always use this time to... Ah, damn. I tried to shoot the guys on the bicycle. But yeah, that's basically the auto-scroller. It's boring, but... if you've seen the enemies, at some point they just start killing each other and like driving into walls and trees and stuff. I actually don't know, maybe... My personal theory is that this auto-scroller was like... actually accounted for the fact that at some point too many enemies can be on screen, and that they just drive into stuff when there are too many of them on screen. So it looks hilarious when you do absolutely nothing and they drive into trees or into each other. But yeah, back to normal daily business where we just clip out of bounds and ignore all the enemies. Hello, sir. Alright, coming up is arguably the worst part of the game. The infamous jet ski level. With the most horrendously bad controls you can imagine. If you ever played this game, you might remember that this is absolutely awful right now. Also, this is like the level where the Explorer difficulty is a little bit annoying, because whenever you pull out the gun, it automatically tries to aim at one of the enemies, but I actually want to aim at the barrels, because even on Explorer difficulty, if I drive into one of these explosive barrels, that hurts a lot. So luckily this one is rather short. There are 3 of these jet ski levels. Luckily we can skip one of them entirely. So here's a tiny little trick I did. Because I shot the gun right before I left my little thing, I'm now in combat speed. I basically alerted enemies around here, and the game now thinks I'm in combat, when in reality I'm actually not. Oh yeah, also a little thing that the PlayStation 4 mode is exclusive is this photo mode right here, where you can basically just pause the game and take cool little snapshots and pictures and stuff. Which also comes in quite handy in the speedrun, where you just basically arbitrarily pause the game so the game can load in parts of the game that are not supposed to be there yet. So normally when you do speedruns of this game, you don't enable autosaves, because every time the game makes an autosaves it costs you like a second. But for a marathon it's kind of necessary, because of this section right here. If I fall down here, the game is kind of soft locked. Whew. Good thing we avoided that, because we clipped there out of bounds and jumped into like this area here. The game completely lost track where we actually are. And if I were to die, the game has no clue where I am or where I'm supposed to be, and the game just soft locks. But luckily we avoided that. And now some more fights we just blatantly ignore by ignoring walls as well. No softlock PogChamp, that is a PogChamp indeed. That's like the second worst thing that could happen in a marathon run. And hello? Yeah, so you can think of Uncharted as casual games. One is the worst, and gradually the speedruns become worse. Like Uncharted 2 has a pretty interesting speedrun. Uncharted 3 has kind of a it's okay speedrun. Oh wait, give me back my normal weapon. Wait, no. Give me the other. There we go. Uncharted 3 really is kind of a meh speedrun. Uncharted 4, I haven't really taken a look into it lately, but if I remember correctly, it's also not that great of a speed game. But on the other hand, casually, the first one is basically not that great, and 2, 3, and 4 are pretty good. So yeah, the better the game casually gets, the worse the speedrun becomes, if that makes sense.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah, sure.
We have a $5 donation from Oni-Sama. Haven't played any of Uncharted games. What's your favorite Xoneris?
Ooh, that's a big question. Normally, people tend to say 2 and 4 are their favorite ones. I think the universally most loved one is the second one. But I personally, I really love the fourth one. There are some things about it that are like objectively not that great, but for me it was like the culmination of playing the first 3, and like the fourth one is just basically a throwback to all the ones before. It's like the emotional impact the last one had on me was pretty great. Some scenes were like so heartwarming and like, damn dude, it's so good. There's at the very start of the game of Uncharted 4, there's basically just a level that is only there for Easter egg purposes and for the purpose of throwing you back into all the 3 previous games. And it's fantastic. I had some tears of pure enjoyment when I saw that. It was so good. And the very end of the game is also pretty good. By the way, in this level here, don't mind Elena's infinite ammo gun. I don't know if you would believe me if I would say that this is not a glitch. This is actually something that just happens. For some reason the gun of Elena just doesn't need to be reloaded ever. Like, I don't know. It's just a thing that is there. I think in the glitchless run of this game you can use this as well, because, I mean, you can't even reload. There's not even a reload option. It's really weird. But yeah, finally we're done with the awful jet ski levels. And yeah, this is chapter 13 out of 21, and I don't know what the timer is right now, but I'm probably way beyond the half of the estimate right now. And now you might be thinking, am I like really far behind, or why are there so many more chapters to go? And no, this is perfectly fine, don't worry. Right now comes the part where I will be starting to skip entire chapters. Because from this point out, the game designers decided to neatly tie together all of the remaining chapters from 13 to 21, all in like the same kind of place, the same kind of general area. And I mean, if you paid a little bit of attention and you've seen that I can just go through walls without so much as like a scratch. Of course, thank you very much, game. Yeah, this another big time loss feels bad, dude. I hate when this happens. All of these bad things have not happened to me in my practice run yesterday. So annoying. But yeah, if I would have not failed that jump, which is not that hard.
Just slow down. One of these goons could be up ahead.
Yeah. Like so far the speedrun is actually going pretty decent, but like the biggest time losses I can get are of course the ones that I get. All of the other tricks and things I get without problem. It's like a typical Xoneris curse. Get the hard things, fail the easy things. This clip here actually doesn't even save that much time. See, you just jump in here and go out here. You just do a jump. So here is also a hard-coded like checkpoint. We just run into it real quick and continue.
I know, me too. Let's just find Sullivan and get the hell out of here.
So here's some more enemies. Quickly gonna kill them so they don't annoy me. So this here might take a few tries because this is okay. This should work. So I go out of bounds, jump. Oops, sure game. The reason why I just did that with the pause buffering or like the photo mode is because if I jump without pausing the game, Elena dies and that's like a fail condition. Like Elena dies and we lose the game. It's a little bit awkward. Because like the area where Elena is in like deloads and she falls into the void of the abyss and she dies. And because she dies we kind of game over or something. It's weird, I never really understood that part.
Wait a second.
And yeah, we just continue our merry way. Right here, this is the infamous puzzle room. There is a trick in this game called puzzle skip, which would skip this room. But it's, in my opinion, like the hardest trick of the game because you have to do a series of kind of difficult things in a row. And if you get it, it saves like, I don't know, a minute or so maybe. But if you fail it, you lost more time than if you would just do this right here. Also, please welcome behind this door the big void of nothingness.
Well, there's no way but forward.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct, Mr. Nathan Drake.
What is this place?
A really elaborate way to hide the damn treasure.
That's damn right, Mr. Nathan Drake.
Wait a second.
Which way do we go? We go the fastest and easiest way, which involves skipping all of the puzzles and skipping all of the climbing and just going through this gate. Coming up here is another really kind of game-breaking glitch that unfortunately we only get to see once, because going through walls is just so inherently broken that you don't need to use this one right here. But basically you can just jump in the air once. Whenever you jump over a cover, you get like a free jump afterwards. This right here is the only unskippable cutscene in the game, and please enjoy some quality voice acting. Just listen.
Hey, Boule! Last man alive gets the gold. You lose. Kill them both.
Absolutely fabulous. Okay. Oh, he's still alive. Here's a forced encounter. We need to kill all these guys here real quick in order to progress. We're gonna abuse our broken aiming mechanics. I mean my godlike aim. Oh, of course. Okay, there's a guy coming up here in. Okay, now the dangerous guy. Alright, easy. I think that was everybody. Wait, no. Normally when combat is over, you're not in combat speed anymore. Never mind, we're fine. Sometimes this game likes to troll you a little bit. If I were to progress right there without killing all the enemies, it wouldn't work, because Elena, our NPC companion, would just randomly die again, because the game forces you to kill all these guys. Okay, that is totally not what I want. Thanks, game. Yeah, sometimes the snapping of this game, like whenever you jump, this game is like a kind of a snapping system. When you're close to something you can like grab, it automatically grabs it. If you're too close to it, it sometimes is a bit annoying, but you know.
There's gotta be a way out of here.
Alright, here's another kind of forced combat. Also some quality dialogue.
Can you reach it?
So
Looks
good.
like an old hoist or something. There's a rope. I'll try to lower it down to you.
By the way, shout out to the word hoist.
See a tunnel. We can get out.
Ah shit,
Gotta be a way out of here.
that's not what you're supposed to do. I did that intentionally so we can hear this dialogue once more.
Oh, you're heavier than you look. Can you reach it?
Looks like an old hoist or something. There's a rope. I'll try to lower it down to you.
I don't know why, but I really like the word hoist.
Oh, I see a tunnel.
So,
Get out this way.
there we go. So yeah, this is a forced encounter here. There are these weird guys. Story and stuff, I'm not gonna bother explaining what these guys are, but they're here, and they're kind of dangerous, to be honest. This fight right here is kind of scripted. Like, these guys appear at the same spot every single time, but I kind of forgot. Like, I still have like a kind of sense. Yeah, take your time, Elena. Don't worry about it. Damn it. Wait. Wait, that was not the last one? Oh, there we go. Alright, here the second part of the fight is way easier. If I get some ammo somewhere. So here we're waiting for Elena, and here's something that I can show off that is funny. I call this the spin to win. So you just constantly shoot and run in circles, and this happens. Spin to win! Dude, grab the rope. Thank you.
Come on, Nate.
Also, I hope you guys did not get too attached to Elena, because unfortunately she will have to go right now. Because we're running away from these bad zombie guys. Elena doesn't really seem to be that afraid because she's more like casually jogging, while the bad guys kind of close up to her. So, see you later, Elena. It was nice meeting you. Wait. Okay, she somehow survived. Alright, so now we're at chapter 18. And guys, please don't blink, because this is going to be special. You see this ladder right here, and okay, I think that was bad, maybe? Yeah, shit. I jumped a little bit too far to the left. Unlucky. Try again. So you see this ladder? I jumped towards the ladder. The game fades to black. And let's see where we end up. We just started chapter 18 and now we're in... Damn! We basically just skipped 2 chapters in a row. That's insane. That is absolutely nuts. So basically at the very start of chapter 18, the end trigger for chapter 18 is right at the start. You just have to clip through this gate and jump towards the ladder, and it's interesting. The entirety of chapter 18 and 19 are basically just a loop, but we just decide to ignore that loop and just go towards the end. And yeah, we're slowly closing into the end of the game. There's still a little bit more to go. I think from this point on it's like 3-4 minutes or something like that. Yeah, don't mind me, I just clip into this, and yeah, don't worry. This right here is chapter 21. I don't know if somebody from Naughty Dog is watching right now, but somebody please explain me what is up with chapter 21. We just started. I haven't done a single glitch or anything. Oops. And half of chapter 21 is already done. Now we're here with these guys. We shoot this guy, and we shoot this guy, and these guys, and these guys, and this guy maybe, hopefully, and this guy. And now we jump towards this thing, and I haven't used a single glitch, and chapter's over. It's like the shortest chapter ever. Even casually it takes you like 5 minutes tops. Like what? Oh yeah, and we're at the final level of the game, and instead of finishing the game fast, I just take my time and show you guys something real quick, because this is absolutely hilarious that some of you have never seen. So the boss fight is like up towards me, but I instead try to go here. So normally in a run I would not do this. This is so yeah, but for some reason there's this floating AK just here in the middle of out of bounds, and it has collision for some reason, and you can just grab towards it, and okay, fun game. Now the problem is oh wait, that works. Okay, sure. Whoops. Stop. Okay, normally whenever I try this I can't, like, I need to reload the checkpoint and go back, but you know, I guess this works. And yeah, this here is also something that only works in Explorer difficulty. When you try this in any other difficulty, you're basically insta-dead. Whoops. Or you're insta-dead anyway because you pressed the wrong buttons. Nice. Even on the easy difficulty, you can't just jump over there. This is only an Explorer difficulty thing. It's really interesting. And time is coming up in just a bit, by the way. In a few seconds. And... What? No! Dude, Okay, never mind. What is wrong with me? Dude, imagine dying at the last guy twice. Holy shit. I think that has never happened to me before. I only have to press one button. How do you mess up pressing a single button, dude? And... Okay, let's not talk. Okay, at this point I just lost concentration, okay? Let's... Okay. Jesus Christ. Chat, let's not talk about this, okay? This has not happened. And... Time! Jesus Christ. Holy cannoli. Alright, that this happened, okay? That's a new one. I would also like to show you, this is the ending cutscene. I think it takes like a minute or like 2 minutes or so maybe. And underestimate! Nice. So we have enough time to show you this cutscene real quick. And I can't skip it anyway, for some reason. Whoa. What's your language, man? But yeah. Please enjoy this cutscene. Which, I don't know, just... It's good.
Quite a day.
Yeah, save the world, triumph over evil. Pretty typical.
Really?
It's a shame we're leaving empty-handed, though.
Oh well, you know, I did manage to save one small thing. Here, I thought you might miss this.
It's his ring, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You two got a funny idea of romantic.
Sully! Wow, you look like hell.
You should see the other guys.
Best line. I love it.
Got us a boat.
We already have a boat.
Yeah, big boat.
I like this one better.
Sully, you beautiful son of a bitch!
Whoa, language.
Pirates.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry you didn't get your story.
Well, that's all right. There'll be other stories. You still owe me one.
I'm good for it.
Beautiful. What a great cutscene. So good. Yeah, so I know tech guy is listening, so one thing. Do I have like 30 to 60 seconds to show off something more? It's just a tiny little thing. Or do we need to cut to the next run? Alright, cool. So as you like, it should be in the in the category name. This is PlayStation 4 80% no Airwalk. And I just quickly want to show you what the Airwalk is. And you thought just going through walls is kind of broken, but it turns out there's something that's even more broken. Where is it quickly? No. Oh wait. Ah, no! Okay, no, I can't do it because dude, unlucky. I don't have it unlocked. But basically there's this twerk, a super slow motion, where you can get the game into super slow motion. And if you like mash a certain button a few times in the super slow motion, you start to walk straight and ignore everything that's in your way. You just walk straight and everything that's in your way just doesn't exist anymore. Nothing. You just walk. And in the Airwalk run, you start here, chapter 4, you do the Airwalk, you walk in the void for like 6 minutes or so, and you end up in chapter 13. And that run is like 21 minutes or something like that. It's insane. But yeah, I don't have it unlocked like the other skin. Damn it. Wait, can we? No. But yeah, that's Uncharted. Any percent no Airwalk. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it was enjoyable to watch. I actually don't know what's up next, but I hope whatever is up next is going to be very enjoyable. So thanks again for watching, and you guys see me later and at Batman. So take care and see you later.
Thank you for your run, Xoneris. Actually, Xoneris will be back in like the run after the next run, and we have like a donation goal for the Batman skin as well. So you can choose between animated Batman, 1970s Batman, Batman Beyond, Dark Knight Returns, Earth 1 Batman, Sinestro Corps Batman, and Year 1 Batman. So you can donate for that if you want to see Batman in a different skin for his run. Otherwise, we don't have any donation, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna read some thank you and
I promise these Batman skins are unlocked. I can promise that.
I hope so, because I'm disappointed we didn't get the donut suit, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, so thank you for watching the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering, a 2-day speedrunning marathon held 4 times in a year in Glasgow, Scotland. Unfortunately, we're not in Scotland right now. We're at home and making a isolation online marathon. So we're raising money to support Crisis, a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. 100% of your donation will be supporting Crisis. So please start donating and stay tuned for the next run. And the next run is gonna be Rebel Dragon 95 with Dragon Ball Z, Budokai 3, Goku Story, any percent capsule. So stay tuned.